Hi guys, and welcome to day 3 of my countdown to Turtles All the Way Down. So if you don't know, John Green is having a new release which is called Turtle All the Way Down, and I decided to have a countdown until the book comes out. So I first had a review of Looking for Alaska, then I had a review yesterday of The Abundance of Katrine, and today I'm going to go for the third book, which is Paper Town. So, I don't really know if I like this book or not. And I think the problem I have with Paper Town is that it sounds to me a little bit pointless. So, yeah, there's going to be spoilers. So, guys, I think saying the book is pointless is kind of a big statement. But if you have seen my review yesterday, talking about Colin and how he tried to get the meaning of life, well, in this book you have Margo, who actually doesn't know anything about herself. So basically this book is like from the point of view of Quentin, who is totally in love with Margo, and Margo couldn't care less, basically. So you have this, like this big event in their life when they are kids. They find a dead guy, and they have drastically opposite reaction to it. So in the case of Quentin, he just like, okay, I don't know the guy, he's dead, well, his life, not mine, whatever, keep on going with his own life. In the case of Margo, I think she's like kind of shaken to it. Maybe could be a sort of PTSD or like a heavy depression, and basically she's changing from that point on, and she's doing whatever she can to give meanings to her life, which means never forget that she's going to die at some point. And I think this book is all about that. It's all about this girl who is like trying to get meaning of her life and trying to remember that she's going to die. So basically what they're going to do is like, Margo wants to leave, but before she does that, she has to take revenge on her friends and her boyfriend and a few people. So Quentin basically is like the guy next door, and she's going to ask him to go with her. Like they used to play when they were a kid, but they stopped, and then like she's gonna ask him to help her. So of course, because he's so in love with her, he's not gonna say no, so they go around and pull all those pranks as a revenge on people. And I think that part of the book is pretty interesting. And then it goes all sideways. Because the point is, Margo is used to get out of the town from, like, she just leave and nobody know where she is, and then she's come back. And basically she leaves clues, which her sister or her parents actually never follow. So I think when I see that, even if it's like stupid, childish clues, I think Margo is like crying for help. She wants someone to really find her so many times. And then, like the last time, she has to pull this prank and revenge on people because she got betrayed by everyone she trusts, like her best friend and her boyfriend and everybody. And the only person she can think of that has been loyal to her all her life, even though she grew apart from him, is Quentin. And so basically she's going to leave clues to Quentin. And the one thing you think about all through the book is like, if it were me and I leave the clues and the guy isn't, like, the guy has to follow them, and if he follows the clues, he's probably the one who is actually going to care for me. Like, I don't mean the meaning of true love, like love at first sight, but I mean love as a decision. Like, I mean, one of my friends told me once, like, love is a decision. It's two persons who actually decide to be good for each other. And I didn't believe her for a while, but I think she's right. And basically, in this book, we have contact with the only person who is actually going to care and be good for her no matter what she does, even if she does the crazy stuff she pulled during the prank stuff, and even if she is actually running away. So, of course, there is a road trip because it's like John Green and his like second road trip, right? We had a road trip in the Abundance of Catherine too. So, Quentin and his friends, and actually a few girls, like the best friend of Margo, are taking a road trip to actually find her because they found the clues. So they managed to gather clues, took them a while, and they go for this road trip to find her. And like that's the whole thing I don't understand is the ending of it. I find it very depressing, and like, so it managed to find her basically, and she's like, no, I didn't leave the clue for you to find me, I just leave the clue for you to know I'm okay. No, you don't love me because you don't know me, because I don't know myself, kinda. And I'm like, I think first that she has a sort of PTSD and that she is depressed because when she finds a dead guy, she has such a strong reaction. And basically, he suicided, so she probably thinks that people around don't care, because if people around really cared, he wouldn't have killed himself. So she doesn't actually care so much about anyone. Otherwise, she wouldn't live, right? She care maybe about her little sister because the little sister is just a kid. But otherwise, she doesn't care about anyone. And the thing is, she's built up her personality as a kind of star because she go away, she comes back, and she has all those crazy stories that she probably half is made up and half is real. And I have this feeling that even if Quentin is the main character and he solved his problem, like basically he looked for Margo, find Margo, and he understands that love is not what he believes it is. So that's the conclusion for Quentin. But I have this feeling we don't have a real conclusion for Margo. Because Margo is just this person who is like, she doesn't know herself, so she leaves so that she can do something else with her life. And the thing is, if she just really looked into the mirror, she would see that what she is actually what she created for herself. But we don't have this reflection for Margo. And I think that's a shame because Margo is like this character who is never going to know who she is, and she's going to do all the crazy stuff just to figure that out, even so it's like written in front of her. In the Abundance of Catherine, we have Colin who finds his very plain life and managed to find the meaning of his life. Like, he's not going to um, be brilliant maybe, but it still can have meaning in his life. And in this book here, we have Margo who created this fascinating life for herself, and she's really not happy with it. And she's trying to go for the plain life. But since she has this sort of depression, PTSD, whatever, from finding the suicided guy, I don't think it's going to work. Like, she will always want to do something more. And the thing is, Quentin is really like, he's going to go to college, he's going to be a doctor, he's going to get married, he knows what his life is going to be, and he doesn't ask himself too much questions. But Margo asks herself those questions, and because she asks herself those questions, that's why she cannot actually find the answer to happiness. I don't know if I'm expressing myself correctly. That's the feeling I have. I have like, this book was resolved for only Quentin, and like, Margo is still some sort of mystery for herself. But the thing is, if you really want to know who you are, you have to look at who you were, and you're gonna see that. And like, there is nothing that actually explain that sort of feeling. So it's like Margo is looking for the general meaning of life, not for her own meaning of life. That's my feeling, because her own meaning of life, she already find it. When she go around and do all those wonderful things, that's building life and have a life that is just wonderful for the time you were here. But Margo seems to be looking for the global meaning of life, which doesn't exist. And until she figured out that it doesn't exist, the book is not really handy. So, yeah. That's where my problem with that book actually was. So I cannot say I like the book. I cannot say I dislike the book. I think it has a lot of wonderful things. The way they go about the revenge is brilliant. I really like that. The road trip is not bad, but, and I mean, I know, like, it feels like this book was created on a concept, like the concept of paper time. Like, Margo called herself a paper girl, and like she goes to that paper town, which is a town that doesn't exist. Like, it's just there on paper for making sure that people don't steal cards, basically, like road maps. And I mean, it still exists. That's the thing, is like she sort of pretend she doesn't exist, but she still exists because she's there, right? So, yeah. I'm still kind of confused about Margo's enigma of who she really is, and the book doesn't answer. So I have this feeling it was like the author wanted to use paper time as a concept, and a paper town is always going to be a paper town, but Margo doesn't have to always be a paper girl. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this book, basically. Like, there is also discussion question at the end of mine. I don't know about yours, but I have this discussion question. So let's do at least one. Q, that's Quentin, right? Q comes to this conclusion that Margo was not a miracle. She was not an adventure. She was not a fine and precious thing. She was a girl discuss. And yeah, I mean, it's like being a concept. You are basically yourself, but you are also the concept of everything that other people think you are. So people are going to look at your life through a partial lens. Like, they're not going to see everything, especially now because we have like social media and you only see a very tiny little part of people's life and you create who they are from that. And I think that's what everyone did to Margo. And so she got sick of it and left for that reason. But I mean, it's true for everybody, even if you don't do miracles or adventure or, you know. And like, she was not a fine and precious thing. Yes, I think everyone is a fine and precious thing. Everybody. Not only Margo, everyone. So, yeah. It said, discuss the last line of the book, how it relates to the rest of the story, and what is ultimately say about Margo and Quentin. So let's go to the last line. That's kind of fun. So the last line is, yes, I can see her almost perfectly in this cracked darkness. I think Quentin at this stage realized who Margo really is. That he has been imagining her as this perfect person for so long, and then finally, once he has gone through everything to actually catch her, and like, he saw her the super cool version during the revenge, and then at the end he just saw the flawed version, the version that is incomplete, sort of, and trying to complete herself. So that's why he can actually see her for who she is. He found the real Margo, and he probably also figured out that she is still what he wants, basically. And that's why you say he can see her almost perfectly in this cracked darkness, because it's like he's breaking the shell of light around him. He's breaking his illusion over Margo, and he's still happy with what he saw, even so it's in the dark. That's what I think, because they just kissed, right? So that's what actually I think actually happened. And then for Margo, what does it mean? Well, yes, I can see her almost perfectly in this cracked darkness. I think Margo is still standing in the darkness, and even if her shell sort of cracked because Quentin sort of pushed it through to her, I believe that she is not yet ready. So I think we could have a paper tan too when Margo actually comes back to Quentin. That would be pretty cool. Like, Quentin is at university, like third year or fourth year, and Margo just arrived in town and signed up for university, like because she figured out. And Quentin got a girlfriend, and Margo is going to try to get Quentin. That would be nice. That would be a super cool story. I don't do fan fiction, but if any of you do fan fiction, please do book number 2 for me, and I'll read it. Just do the fan fiction for me, and write it down below, the link to it, or send it to me by email, whatever you want, and I'll read it. So anyway. So guys, I hope you enjoy this little series. I hope you enjoy this video. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the 14 North Stars, so don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time for something else. Don't forget to leave me your comment if you want to discuss more. Like there is like quite a few of those discussion topics. So if you want to discuss more, please like leave them in the comment below, and I'll answer your comments. Don't forget to like this video, and see you tomorrow for the last week of the total of the Well Done Countdown. Have fun whatever you read. Bye!